What is up, GI channel? And if you're watching on Flock Stream Live, welcome to the Friday the 13th, the basketball stream. Triple Threat Podcast 2017.
Oh shit.
We've got our co-host, Flock. Say what's up.
What up? What up? What up?
And fresh from the barbershop, Ace in Vegas.
Yeah, what's up? What's good, everybody?
Now, we were talking about positivity for the New Year resolutions, and Flock already lost it in one day. Is that correct, Flock?
That is highly incorrect. Let's stick to the topic, Siggy.
All right, sports-wise, so 2016 ended with a bang. Not only with the football playoffs, but of course, the hot topic of December 30th was Ronda Rousey.
Jesus Christ.
So let's go ahead and start it off with UFC 207. Ronda Rousey, is this the end of her MMA career? Ace, go ahead and start it off.
I was gonna say it should have been the end of her career after she acted the way she did when she previously lost and got knocked off her high horse and got humbled real quick. But I think that she definitely needs to retire after this. You can clearly see during the fight that she was just not trained properly and that she was not ready. There was a lot of holes in her fighting abilities when it came to boxers. And I was going to say, Nunes tore her up. It's over with. It's done. She's done. Like, she needs to retire. And she thought she was upset about what happened when social media did her dirty. Last time, social media this time around is not going to be as nice. Like, she did this to herself. But
It was golden stuff.
Yeah, but look, at the same time, though, I don't fully blame her or her camp. I really do feel that UFC as an entity, as a company, really wanted to bring her back because they knew that was going to be a cash cow, especially here in Las Vegas and other places where, you know, betting is going around. And they knew they were going to make money around her. And I feel like it was them putting pressure on her, too. I don't think she was ready. Like, at all, physically or mentally, especially. Like,
Well, she was ready physically. She was a lot bigger than she's ever been, but mentally, though,
mentally she was not
I
ready.
talked about that before.
Yeah, mentally she was just not ready at all. And I'm actually a little disappointed in the UFC too, just because Rousey got $3 million for that, and she got her ass whooped, and Nunes only got 200,000. Like, man.
Well, I mean, let's face it though. It's because nobody really, even though Nunes is the champ, nobody really wants to watch her. She's just not a marketable person. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But Flock, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna get a little more in depth about this because after the first fight, the first time she lost, I remember we talked about it, and I remember saying that she just got humbled and she went up against Styles make fights. So she anytime she goes up against somebody that got a good stand-up game, because her forte is ground and pound, trying to take you to the mat. That that jiu-jitsu shit. Once somebody that can back her up, like Holly Holm got those kicks and punches that and got that reach that can keep her at bay. I mean, she just got outclassed, and I heard somebody say that she's equivalent to in the UFC as to like how Mike Tyson was, like when she actually got hit or something, she didn't know how to act and all that. I'm like, I found that completely false. I would never compare her to Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson was an animal. Mike Tyson had footwork, he knew how to move his head, and he could take a punch. You know what I mean? He could take a punch. I've seen Mike Tyson get in trouble in fights before and come back and win those fights. Never seen Ronda Rousey get in trouble and come back and win the fight. Every time she gets stunned, she's done, pretty much. So if I would compare her to anybody, I would compare her to, say, God bless the dead, Kimbo Slice. Because we all found that entertaining, watching him beat up on all these people that had no business being out there fighting them in the streets. Now, we all watch them shits on YouTube. I seen you got videos out there with 3 million views of Kimbo beating down people. But then when Kimbo ran into somebody that could actually fight on his level or could counter the shit that he was doing.
Gannon.
It was a wrap.
That big dude. Then it was
Gannon,
they didn't want you to see that, but we saw it. And then the same thing happened like when he went to, what was it? Was it Bellator or whatever he was at? what was it, Strike Force? I don't remember where he was
I
fighting.
think it was Strike Force.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
And
sure.
then when that
Strike
one
Force.
dude caught him with that crazy little punch or kick or whatever, and it dropped him, and he got beaten like 20 seconds or whatever, his weaknesses got exposed. So, you know, and that dude gets gassed out quick too. So that's who, if I would compare that to anybody, I would compare her to like Kimbo Slice, because, you know, it was just like it was a lot of hype and was fighting people that just wasn't on her level. But the second she had to go up against somebody that can hit her, like they always say, everybody got a plan until they get hit in the face. And then, then you got to go to plan B. So that's cool. I see somebody comparing her to Brock Lesnar. No, I wouldn't compare that to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a fucking animal. Brock Lesnar is a different level. But like I said before, after that, I could definitely see it would hurt now. I think she needs to fight another fight and at least win before she goes to WWE, because WWE for her is probably ideal because she won't have to work full time. They'll make her a part timer. And
she doesn't have to worry about social media making fun of her losing.
Right. Social media going at her, because she obviously doesn't know how to handle that stuff. She doesn't know how to handle it. So I think that at this point, that's the best thing for to do. I mean, get one more fight. Try to win this fight next time, girl, and then take your ass over there where you should have went 6 months ago.
No, yeah, that's a perfect comparison with the Kimbo Slice, because we didn't know though with Kimbo, everybody knew that he really wasn't, good all around. That we just needed to put some fluff in there. Hopefully, he beats these people and then cash out with a big, payout against, another big name. It didn't happen. It wound up being a substitute. I think what happened was somebody had to drop out last minute, and this guy that came in was literally like 1 day or something like that, just to get the card going, and then he wound up losing, and there goes the rest of it.
And somebody saying she took an L. I mean, you say what you want. I mean, she got paid $3 million for 48 seconds of work, and we all over here, talking about it, and ain't there one of us.
And we'll go ahead and talk about that real quick. The reason why Ronda Rousey's got that much money is because, one, it was in her contracts to get this, because she was the face. She was the pioneer of why women's fighting in UFC specifically is at the highest level now. So Nunes owes Ronda Rousey all that, and pretty much, Dana White knew what he was doing whenever she lost. He didn't want Holm to fight anybody else, because he knew that the bigger fight would have been Holm versus rematch with Rousey, even if they would have lost or whatever. He just wanted to make sure Holm stayed like that. When Holm lost to Miesha Tate, then it was like, now look at this, because she fought tooth and nail to fight. He couldn't do anything about it because Rousey wasn't ready mentally. So he's like, okay, well, I'll go and let y'all fight. She loses, so there goes that potential matchup. Then Miesha Tate was Nunes, and then maybe Dana was like, okay, well, maybe Rousey can beat Nunes. But in the end, Nunes wound up being the best fighter right now, period, in the women's division. And the thing is, though, Rousey was the bigger name. Nunes is still
bigger brand and everything too.
Yeah, she had everything going. She's the movie star. She's everything. She was the one that was undefeated. Mentally, though, she was not ready for a real fighter like Nunes. Nunes destroyed her. She's the lioness or whatever that she goes by now. Can you market her to be just as favorable as far as what Ronda is in the future? Right. I don't know, because you don't have any fighters that might prop her up. She starts doing the 3-second fights and the 15-second fights, etc., that Rousey was doing. Okay, give her time. She's going to be the face of UFC going forward. Obviously, she is now for the women's side, but now Conor McGregor gets to command any money he wants, because Dana White literally has no one else now as far as the big star that could bring all the marketability into the sport. So now Conor knows this. Now Conor's like, hey, you just lost Ronda Rousey. You better sign over 5, 10, 15 million to me for these next 3 fights or whatever you want me to do, because now he is the face of UFC, period. She is now done. I think as far as her career goes, she might not be done with UFC all the way. I would think that she says she's going to retire, but I think there's still more money. She might not get $3 million this next fight, but obviously Nunes and her, if they can get together, if she can recover, mentally from the memes, then there is still money there. People still don't want to see it.
I don't think she's gonna recover from her, fam. Like, when she had her first loss, she was talking about like completely leaving UFC, having babies like that. And this is the same woman that first that was just like, oh, I'm out there getting in these fights and everything like that. She got humbled real quick. Like, I don't think she can survive this, fam. Like that. Like, I think it'd be her best interest to just fix herself mentally first than anything.
I mean, I think
she's
fine. Now
fine.
she's probably now embarrassed enough to where she probably can accept it now. Because that's the problem. Here's the problem with the whole social media part of everything the sports these days is a lot of these athletes, they take everything they see online so seriously. The first thing LeBron James said after that is that that's the thing with sports today. Or the media, they bring you all the way up here just to chop you down, but that's not really the case. It's just that you make yourselves, all these athletes put themselves on these pedestals so high that when they fail, they don't realize that you were making fun of everybody to get to this point. And then whenever something does happen, of course, social media is going to react like that. Yeah. Whenever Conor McGregor lost, everybody jumped on him about that. Whenever Diaz beat him that first time, he recovered though, because, he didn't take it so personal like other athletes do. Ronda took it real personal. She was talking about suicide or something like that after that loss. Whenever you start thinking like that, that means you're just not mentally stable. You put yourself so high up there that you can never lose. I mean, come on, everybody knows this. So this is why, if you went by athletes in the past, I think me and Flock talked about it before. Jordan had like all these game-winning shots, but he also had almost a whole bunch of misses, right? I mean, he's up there with that. Now, if it was,
he'll tell you that too.
Yeah,
if it was social media back then, imagine, there goes Jordan breaking again. Oh, look at that. Can't rely on him. Can you imagine how that would have been, back then? We wouldn't have been seeing Jordan in the same light if it was always like that.
But I mean, this is also like a different topic, about how far can social media go when it comes into for professional sports and everything. Like, how seriously does it take? Like, I mean, social media is not going anywhere.
No, it's not. You just gotta not take it serious. If I were a manager, if I were somebody, especially somebody that's winning a lot and doing real good, I'd be like, hey, don't listen to anything social media says. In fact, don't even have a Twitter account. Just forget it.
I was about to say, like, it's good to like reach out to like your public and your fans and everything like that. But at the end of the day, like, you gotta avoid the negativity. You can be constructive, criticize yourself.
Everything today. No, it seems like for some reason they take everything of what people say as, gospel or something. Like Kevin Durant's a good example. Everybody talked about LeBron leaving, and because he had to win a championship, you could tell he went to Kevin Durant's head next. Like, LeBron finally won, then it's there we go. The greatest NBA player now is Durant without a ring. So now he's feeling that pressure. There shouldn't be pressure. Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, they didn't have to deal with that. Sure, they read it in the newspapers every now and then, but they didn't have to deal with the constant pressure of everybody telling them.
It wasn't real time, constant.
The
only time you heard it was from the media, because they had the outlet to do it. Now everybody can come at you. Everybody can come at you.
And
everyone feels like they have a voice.
It's such a narrative that I wish they would just sit back and look at the bigger picture and be like, hey, you know what? I don't care what y'all say. And I think Carmelo kind of hinted at that with that commercial he did with the Foot Locker recently. Hey, at least I won all this, the medals for the Olympics and college, championship, etc.
Well, he's just about getting his money now. He knows damn well if he really wanted to ring, he would have got it.
LeBron does playoff time. He shuts that shit down.
Exactly. That's something that a lot of athletes should take note. And
you got some players. Some players, as soon as the game over with, they responding to somebody tweeting at them something crazy, and mother like, blah, 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 blah. Well, this like I remember Dwight Howard doing that shit before.
This is why Flock, I think you made a point to it too.
That chick was like, "That's why you ain't never gonna get no ring." He was like, "Looking at your face, you ain't gonna never get one either."
that was hilarious.
That was classic funny. Clapback. But I mean, you gotta learn. I mean, with that, and I think with me, it would be so difficult for me to do that if I was a celebrity like that, because I would, me, man. I'm the type, like, I let certain shit go, but if you constantly like do stuff, if you say some shit that's just completely out of pocket, I do respond, and I will respond. I respond to positive shit too, but the negative shit sometimes it just goes overboard. It's one thing for you not to like something or not to like or agree with something somebody does, but when people go out of their way to to try to just
bring you down,
try to just constantly like, okay, man, we heard it all before. You don't have to keep beating a dead horse. Let's move on. It's just like,
and
social media is the worst. That's why I like some athletes. They like, I'm not messing with social media. I don't mess with it. The only way I hear about it is if you all tell me or show me.
I mean, that's true.
That's what they need to stop it. They need to go, because, man, think about it. People are really saying that people with championships mean more than what their stats are. That's so. Can anybody really say that Trent Dilfer is a better quarterback than Dan Marino? I mean, that don't make no sense.
Absolutely not. I don't know
Exactly.
who would debate
Who
that,
would
but
even-
I mean, but
That's
this
crazy.
is the era where everybody tries to define you off of championships. I mean,
Yep.
that's always been the case, but it's just driven so much now that everybody you have to win. But then you have those people that get criticized if they hop on a team, like when the Lakers tried to do that shit with Karl Malone and Gary Payton. And
Yep.
it didn't work, and they got criticized for it. Then when Gary Payton went to the Heat and won one, they like, yeah, but you didn't win one with Seattle. So it's like when you were the man on your team and then you win it, you get a definite pat on your back. But if you go to another team, somebody else's team, and win it, it doesn't feel like you get credit for winning, but you don't get the credit for winning. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. So as far as Rousey, I wish social media wasn't steering her in the retirement. I mean, she's still a good fighter in the division. I mean, if Misha can take her L's and keep fighting, she wound up getting the championship shot and got it at one point by beating Holmes. So Ronda should stick around. I mean, I think she could beat all the other girls. I mean, if
She
maybe not
should,
Nunez.
but she just needs to learn to actually stop trying to take somebody down every single time. Like, even if you watch the 48-second clip when Nunez is getting in her ass, like, even if she was getting hit with left, right, hook jabs, she was still
you gotta remember,
trying to grab her.
You can tell she listened to social media on that, because everybody was knocking on her because she didn't take Holm to the ground, because everybody knew Holm had the reach and the legs to, keep her back.
Exactly.
All
All right, let's go and move over to the next subject, the NFL playoffs. Hopefully your teams made the playoffs. My Jets did not. 5-11, but we did win the last game of the year, so at least I went in a note.
Man,
Now we can't talk. I don't know why you laughing, Ace. What did your Chargers do? Come on.
First of all, I wasn't laughing. That was Flock.
That was me laughing because I was about to.
Wait a minute. The Jets beat the Ravens. What are you laughing about?
I was laughing because I was about to say my team ain't going nowhere. That's why I was laughing. My team ain't shit.
All right, so all of our teams on this podcast, wow, we all took L's for the teams, but Cowboys,
Bastards.
Patriots, the top seeds, AFC, NFC, respectively. Do you see any team beating the Patriots or Cowboys on the way to the Super Bowl?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas for one. Like, come on now. Like,
We'll start with you, Ace. Go for it. What do you think? Why do you
All
think
right.
Dallas is going to lose? All right, so first of all, before Dallas can lose, it's going to be Green Bay versus the Giants. And
Let's talk about the AFC.
You want to start in the AFC? You just talked about the Cowboys.
No, I want to, but let's talk about the wild card games first.
All right, let's talk about the wild card. On the AFC side first, you want to go?
14 wins is a good.
Yeah, let's do AFC. Because I want to talk about the Raiders and Texans.
All right, so Raiders Texans, which is a laughable game. I mean, this game might end in a tie. I mean, the AFC is horrible. All right, so you have the Raiders and the Texans, and you have the Dolphins,
Steelers.
Oh my god.
Dolphins, and who is
Garbage and the
the
Steelers.
Tennessee
Steelers.
Titans? Who is it?
It's Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers. That's right, the Steelers. I know, I'm just playing. So the Steelers are going to beat the hell out of the Dolphins, by the way. But anyways, all right, which game do you want to start off first with?
I mean, I honestly, I'm surprised at the Raiders season and how they've gone. But honestly, since the quarterback is hurt, I think they may lose this one.
No Derek.
I
Carr.
honestly think that's what it's going to be. No, Derek Carr is I think they performed very well this season. And I mean, I had to deal with all the Raiders fans and everything, like my family and my friends and stuff like that, because I'm a Chargers fan. But overall, as a team, they did pretty well. But that with Derek Carr being gone, I don't think they have a chance.
All right, look, first off, Ace, look, Derek Carr was really good for the Raiders. Don't get me wrong. He carried that team. He was MVP candidate all the way up to the end, pretty much. But at the same time, the Texans have no QB. They had no QB the whole season, and they're in the playoffs. So now it's pretty much two teams with no quarterbacks playing with each other. So it's going to be that's why I said it's going to be a tight game. Flock, what do you think about that matchup?
I mean, I like the Raiders O-line, man, but if they don't have a quarterback back there to throw the ball to anybody, it's kind of tough. I'm thinking Houston might end up winning, but it's kind of hard to bet against the Raiders, man. They always find a way to win games, so I'm gonna say the Raiders gonna win.
One thing.
All right, I think here's how I break it down here. I think this was great for Osweiler because Savage was in there in that last game. He got benched, Osweiler. He talked about social media destroying him. In Houston, they're destroying him right now. And when he got benched, that had to be a gut check. Now, I feel bad for Savage, but now that Savage looks like he might be out for a little bit, now Osweiler has a chance for redemption, so it's a good story to have a redemption story. You would think, anyways. He saw that he got benched, in Denver last year when Peyton Manning, or a couple of years ago, whatever it was, when he led them to the Super Bowl. I would think that now he knows that what he can do. He knows the team. He knows the offense, obviously. You would think being benched, now he has the motivation to actually go out there and not have it handed to him. So you would think, at least you would think, now would be the time Houston would actually do something with him, whether it's actually throw to Hopkins, because that's the one thing he didn't learn apparently this whole season was throw to DeAndre Hopkins. They have a good running back in Lamar Miller. They have a decent receiving core with Fuller and obviously Hopkins. The tight end is awesome. The Raiders have pieces, but they just don't have everything together either without Carr. Carr made that offense roll. Cooper, for some reason, lost a step. I don't know what happened to him. But the running backs have all playing pretty good. And if they can control the clock, then maybe they can, keep Houston at bay in terms of their offense. But I see this being a low-scoring game. 13-10.
Raiders didn't run the ball, though. They didn't run the ball.
Oh, you talking about this last game?
I'm saying period.
No,
all
in
this
the season.
They didn't run the ball.
They just have that
Murray didn't get 800 yards this season, I don't think.
I don't think so.
The other two guys. What's his name? Washington's actually pretty good. The one that's been running lately.
I mean, they better run it. They better run it this coming week.
Nah, they're gonna have to run it because I don't see anybody throwing. Because they may lose what's his name too, the backup this week.
Yeah, they meeting with a free agent. I think they was meeting with the free agent today. I forgot the dude's name. I didn't look at his name, but I know they was meeting with another quarterback to try to hurry up and put on the roster.
So what do you think, Flock? Easy win for Raiders or what?
It's gonna be a tough one, man. It's a toss up, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders because I just like what they've been doing all season. It's gonna be close.
You know what? It could be good for playoff wise. To watch it, it might look like a disaster, but I like low scoring in the playoffs. They like tight games, so it could come down.
Win by a field goal. Watch.
It's gonna be 3-0. I'm just playing.
Nah, I hope not.
Steelers, Dolphins. Now this is gonna be a laughable game, right? I mean,
that's
Steelers are gonna steamroll them, right?
I just don't have respect for the Miami Dolphins like that. I definitely think the Steelers are gonna crush them.
I mean, do we really need to talk about this game that much? I mean, Pittsburgh's gonna win that game, yo.
No.
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the NFC side then. Lions, Seahawks, Ace, go for it.
I'm gonna take Seattle in this one. I think that I feel they have something to prove. I mean, they want to get back into the Super Bowl contingency, and I believe that I think they have the potential to actually make it to the Super Bowl. So I think I'm gonna take the Seattle over Detroit.
Do you think it's gonna be close?
No, I don't think it's gonna be close at all.
I think it's gonna be a lot closer than you think.
I do too.
Seattle don't score many points. Seattle don't score. Seattle hardly ever scores any points. And if any team out there can get up on them like that and sneak a victory out, is Detroit, because they got a pretty good offense. So I feel like either team, if they would have got matched up with New York, I'd be saying New York would win that game. But it's Detroit, and Detroit is Detroit. So you never know which team you're gonna get. So
exactly.
I'll say it's gonna be closer than we think, but I think Seattle's gonna find a way to win that game.
I think Seattle will find a way, but I do like the Lions a lot, especially since this last 2 weeks, they've been pretty much playing playoff football. And yes, they got destroyed by Green Bay, which at one point it was close, and then they just kind of let go.
That shit got out of hand, though, bro. The
final score doesn't really show that, though, but yeah, they did. But they played the Cowboys. They played the Cowboys tough in the beginning also. And this is the thing. The team just didn't know how to close the games out. But I do like that Zenner, that running back that came out of nowhere all of a sudden.
Yeah.
He's been looking good. I think the Lions offense is there. They just need their defense to step up more. And that's something they just do for some reason. So if they can figure that part out, if Caldwell, can figure that, he never really had a good defensive mind, but if he can figure that out in the playoffs, they may be able to make some noise. But yeah, Seattle's going to be tough to beat at home, no matter who you are. Because even without an offense, even if they don't have the offense, Seattle just plays so tough at their place. Their defense just shuts everybody down. No matter who you are, you could be Drew Brees, go in there, they lose. You could be Matt Ryan and go up in there and you're gonna lose. So Nobody
Yeah,
wants to play in
exactly.
Seattle, especially in the cold and rain and all that stuff. So
And
I
that
don't
shit
see
plays
Detroit.
effect.
Yeah, I don't see Detroit being able to hold up, but I do think it's going to be a lot closer than anybody thinks. I could see a
Yeah,
24-21 kind of game.
40
Somebody
degrees
said,
and 40 degrees and raining, bro. That's tough.
and getting hit is not
Yep.
fun. Trust me, that shit hurts. But I got
And now the game that everybody wants to see because
So
I
what it
think
said.
everybody's
So
hoping
the
for
Sierra curse ain't gonna kick in.
Yeah, I was just want to say that too, bro. Stop it. Stop it, the Sierra curse, bro.
I mean, she cursed the
All right.
Warriors.
Giants,
I said that.
Giants, Packers. That's gonna be a
That's
very
gonna be a good
interesting
game to
game.
watch.
That's gonna be,
Giants,
everybody's gonna be
I'm
wanting
going
that
for
one.
the
That's gonna be a good
Giants,
game to
bro.
watch.
I'm picking
Really?
the Giants. I'm picking the Giants, bro.
Wow.
I never doubt against New York anymore in the playoffs,
In the
fam.
playoffs.
And I said this the last time we talked about the playoffs. I said if the Giants find a way to get in the playoffs, I pray they end up going up against the Cowboys because they're gonna
Cowboys.
beat their ass again.
That shit would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
All right, look, if you were telling me 3 weeks ago, I would say the Giants in a landslide, but Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers have figured it out these last few weeks. They've been on a roll. I don't know, especially at Green Bay, another place where you don't want to play there when it's cold.
Exactly.
I don't know if the Giants have enough to try to beat Green Bay at their place. Now,
what Giants team is going to show up though? That's the thing. Are they going to come in and Eli's going to take over from the beginning, or is he going to
lay an egg,
turn over the ball first?
You know what? The
Packers,
Packers, the Packers' biggest problem is their cornerback. So if Odell and Shepard and all them just get free, then this game might be over real quick.
if
But
they play some
Aaron
halfway
Rodgers,
decent defense and Screwface don't turn over the ball, then they'll be all right.
That's true.
That's what I call
That's
Eli,
it.
Screwface. You ever seen the way to do?
Yeah, definitely.
And then all of a sudden the Giants have a running game because last week they ran for 160 yards, and obviously you're gonna need that to keep Aaron Rodgers at bay. So
Exactly.
It's gonna be a close game. Also, it's gonna be a real good game. And definitely, if the Giants win, though, Cowboys are gonna be sweating because don't they play them next?
Yeah, I believe
I didn't
so.
I didn't see the actual playoff tree. I'm just looking at the actual matchups. So I'm not.
Oh, it
sure.
doesn't go by the seeding though, right? It just goes by the match. I think maybe it's the winner of the Seattle, what's it called, game? Lions. Maybe it's that one. But anyways, all right. So now that we got those matchups out the way, Ace, why do you think the Cowboys aren't going to go all the way?
I just feel like the Cowboys are going to somehow disappoint the fans and the rest of America when they're watching them play. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the Cowboys, what they have with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott is something amazing. And I feel like those two by themselves have done a lot. But you also got to remember, especially coming from my perspective, running back, the offensive line for Dallas is amazing. They have done very well. But I just believe
they're the best offensive line in the league. And
yeah,
the Raiders
like they
is number
are,
2.
Yeah, like that offensive line is ridiculous. Like when Ezekiel Elliott bought his offensive line ATVs, like I was like, that's a good running back. He knows how to take care of his offensive line because there's something special. But I just truly believe that the Cowboys are gonna find some way to mess up. I don't know how it's gonna happen, and I don't want it to happen for them because I definitely do think if any team deserves to go to the Super Bowl this year, it's them. I don't think they're going to make it. I think they may win the first because they got the playoff. They got home field advantage. They have a first week bye, and they're going to not playing until I believe the 15th. So I just think there's going to be something that happens in the beginning of the game where they're not going to be able to come back from it. And I feel like even with the Detroit game, like at first Detroit was doing well against them, and all of a sudden it just dwindled off, and then they just kept coming back, and that was it. So I don't know. I just think you're gonna find some way to mess up.
Flock, what about the Falcons? Do you think
they gonna get beat first game they play?
yeah, definitely.
They gonna get
absolutely.
Beat. It's
no
Falcons.
respect for the
it's
Falcons,
the Falcons, fam. It's the Falcons, dude. It's a no for me, dog.
All right, so let's. All right, so what about you? You think the Cowboys are gonna lose also on the way?
You mean the Falcons?
No, I'm talking to Flock about the Cowboys.
I think
the Giants would be the one.
I want to say that they probably gonna get beat, but I think they'll probably win. They'll get to the NFC Championship.
I think they deserve
unless they play the Giants, then the Giants gonna beat them.
All right, so on the AFC, we talked about all the bad matchups and all that stuff. Is there anybody that's gonna beat the Patriots? Let's just make it short.
No,
I don't see anybody either.
I think
the Chiefs are number 2.
The only team that's got a chance to beat them is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's the only team I can see beating them. I don't think the Chiefs will beat them if they met in the championship. I don't think of course the Dolphins ain't gonna win a game. I don't see the Raiders or the Texans. No, nobody's gonna beat them.
Nope.
The only team that is remotely close to even having a chance is Pittsburgh, and that's that depends on which Pittsburgh. That depends on which Pittsburgh Steelers team shows up. Because if that team that shows up that came back and beat the Ravens in the fourth quarter play, then I can say that they can probably pull that off. But if it's the team that I've seen, a few weeks ago, go out there and just get manhandled, then nah.
Yeah. All right. So it's looking like a Patriots Super Bowl versus Cowboys or Giants.
I mean,
or Packers.
I'm quite sure the NFL would love to see that.
What the
Patriots
a giant
and the Cowboys?
Patriots?
Patriots. Cowboys and the Patriots. I'm quite sure the NFL would love to see that happen.
Oh my God! Of course.
Yeah.
And all y'all in the comment section, nobody's hating on Dallas. Like, I don't think we have anything negative about Dallas to say, because Dallas overall
Dallas
is an
Cowboys
amazing
fans
team.
are just annoying as fuck. And you just
Yeah.
they like Lakers fans and fucking.
Look, I do think that Dallas. I do think the Dallas Cowboys have the best chance to go on with, just because they have the home field advantage. The only team that ever was scary to the Giants is going to be to the Cowboys is going to be the Giants.
Oh yeah, of course. And the Giants are gonna find some way to sneak their way in, bro. If it's a Giants Patriots game,
then the Patriots are gonna have face that same fear because they have the same demons.
And everyone keeps talking about Eli this, Eli that, bro. You got it, all right. Eli has too, but I don't know. Tom Brady might get him another ring, dog. And that's
all right. Let's go ahead and transition over to the last segments here. The college playoffs. We saw Alabama win, and I am so glad I saw Clemson destroy Ohio State. So
I wasn't expecting that. I thought that
Ohio State University.
Yeah, the Ohio State University. I really thought that Ohio State was going to beat Clemson.
Man, they didn't deserve to be in there. I was so happy.
Clemson was hungry. They were hungry, man. They were so hungry.
Now, before y'all even come to me, y'all know I'm not an avid college football fan. I was listening to some of the shit on the radio when I was at work, because I work on Saturdays, so I don't even get a chance to watch the shit. And if I was at home, I probably still wouldn't watch it, because I'm just not that into it, so I'm not going to lie to y'all. I mean, I try to keep up. I keep up via, like, SportsCenter and shit like that, or ESPNU. Like, I'll just scroll through just so if I know I'm getting ready to do one of these, I can stay, on course and not get left in the conversation. But I'll ask that question later. But how they play your boy Lane?
We saw what happened last time they played each other in the championship game, Alabama Clemson. Alabama destroyed Clemson. So does Clemson get the revenge that it's been hoping for these last few years?
No,
I think it's gonna be a high score.
Same thing's gonna happen.
It's gonna be a high scoring game on Alabama's end.
So you think it's just gonna be a blowout like last time?
Gonna get the ass beat.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game on both ends. But
it won't be a 40-point blowout, but it definitely won't. It's not gonna be that close.
Alabama gonna win that shit.
You know what?
They gonna win it.
All right, look. Here's the thing about Alabama. They're like Ronda Rousey. They're like Ronda Rousey. They
No, yes, they're not.
They've been propped up, so hyped up that they really feel they can't be defeated. They're up there, right? They're the upper echelon, the SEC powerhouse. But when they lose and you see the teams that beat them, you're like, well, how? You know what I mean? That happens to them a lot, especially for some reason around this time of year.
You got to think about it though, man. That's all the people in Alabama got to go after,
it's
man,
football,
all year long.
Bro.
That's all they have, yo. All they have is
I understand.
Some people are gonna be behind them. Alabama.
You know what? At one point, Texas was like that, the Longhorns, and now you don't see anything about them anymore.
People stop.
You know you can blame for that, but he's currently not in the
who Mac?
No, I'm not even Vince Young, but that's just me though.
Look, I think Clemson has a lot to prove. Obviously, they know that everybody's talking about what happened last time, but Alabama doesn't have that kind of pressure. So I could see Clemson sneaking in there and doing something and shocking them. And I want to see it. And it would just be something that nobody would expect. I wouldn't expect it, but I want to see it happen. And let's see it. I want to see it.
Clemson, it's gonna be a good game.
I'm calling Clemson 35-31.
Have we ever seen a defensive game in college football?
I mean, Alabama has the best defense.
I mean, but yeah, that's just like that's really nothing. That's like being a big fish in a small pond. So I mean, that's nothing. I mean,
you know what
college
see? That's the
football
thing
never
about
had
Alabama,
great
though, is that they
defense.
have such a good defense. Sometimes their offense it covers their offensive flaws, and sometimes they win their game 7-6, and then you're looking like, well, if anybody goes in there and scores, then that's
every
it.
college football game I look at, man, it's always like 40 something or 30 something. I hardly ever see a college football game that's like under 20 points.
Well, I mean, it depends on what games you're looking at too, and what divisions and everything like that. Because like a lot of like, depending on if you're looking at the SEC, if you're looking at the Big East, or you look at the ACC. Like, I mean, there's a lot of the other teams and schools that there are.
He don't want to hear that shit either.
Right? He like, we already know who's gonna win. But no, it really just depends. Like, there's, oh my god. Like, for instance, the Rose Bowl game right now is going on is USC and Penn State University. I mean, and right now the scores are high. It's like 42-35. But I mean, there's some.
Who's winning?
Penn State.
Penn State should have been in there instead of Ohio State. I
believe so. I really do, and I think they got cheated. Absolutely, but it is what it is.
I like Penn State.
I was gonna say Alabama's gonna win it though.
Any other sports topics y'all want to talk about before we adjourn?
Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin.
Nobody wants to talk about no Lane Kiffin. Look, my kid don't even want to talk about Lane Kiffin.
He got played. He thought he was gonna be out there, baby. He told him, "Nah, bro, we got this. Going home."
You don't want to talk about any of the firings like Chip Kelly?
We talked about this earlier, Ace. You forgot to bring this shit up.
Yeah,
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly got fired.
Rex Ryan got let go.
Rex Ryan.
Didn't the dude from the Jets get fired too?
Nah, not yet. Bowles, not yet. I know the Chargers coach did though.
Oh my
Who
God.
else? There was somebody else. There was somebody big too.
Who else? Bowles. Yeah, Chargers, Bills. I think that
Maybe it was Rex I was thinking of.
Yeah, that was it. Because they said what's his name is on kind of like on thin ice.
Yeah, the Jets coaches for sure. Yep. Nah, I mean, it's going to be a coaching carousel. I do think Rex has a chance to get another job because he is likable. As far as defensive coordinator, he would probably. I can see I could see him going to the Chargers. Who cares?
Well,
what do you got?
Somebody said what the Bears gonna do. Nobody cares, bro.
Nobody cares about them, bro.
Jeff
Fisher. Rams. Oh yeah, Jeff Fisher was the other one. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, chat. How did we forget that? But that was because it was earlier.
Jacksonville coach. Who is the Jacksonville coach?
That's a great question.
Oh yeah, one of them retired, right? What's his face? Didn't somebody just quit? Denver's coach. Didn't he just retire?
Who? Fucking
Shanahan. I don't even know who it is no more.
Shanahan, boy.
Nah, I know just playing.
He ain't coaching so long.
Said John Fox, but he the fucking coach of them damn sorry ass Bears. I'm surprised.
Kubiak, there you go. It was Kubiak.
Greg Kubiak.
Yeah, he retired, right? Didn't he retire today?
I guess so, according to the background.
Yeah, Kubiak done. But what? I know I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of these coaches, man, they just get stuck with a raw deal. Like your players half the time are injured and stuff like that, man. You can't control that type of stuff. But then some of the management moves, like that shit that the Chicago Bears, because I hear that all the time here because I'm in Chicago. Those deals and those moves that they make, I was like, you can't blame the coach for that. That's a personnel move. He can't pick his players. Like,
right.
Y'all had a chance to move on from the Jay Cutler debacle, and then they re-signed them and paid him all that money, and he ain't do shit. Same thing with the Ravens. The Ravens did after they won the Super Bowl. Half their defense got let go. Part of the offense got let go because they overpaid Flacco. And what did Flacco do? He didn't do shit. He stayed hurt the past 2 seasons. So, I mean, you can't.
I do think though that these coaches are not getting the chance that they, you should be. You get 3, 4, 5 years. Now it's
They
one
gone
and
in
done.
2. Yeah, most
Well,
of the
I
time
think
they gone
I was
after
gonna
2.
say, Chip Kelly definitely deserved to get fired. I mean,
He's
you
a
saw what he
fucking
did
idiot.
to
I mean,
you saw what he did to the
killed that
Philadelphia
Eagles
Eagles.
team. Yeah,
He definitely killed it, but then he murdered the 49ers. And like,
No,
that's
the
what-
Niners were already murdered. I mean,
no, but at the same time, though, like I feel like he
didn't
do
have
much for them.
he didn't have anybody. I mean, this is an unfair situation for him because he went in there with what did he have? He had no quarterbacks.
Yeah,
We
true.
thought Kaepernick would fit his system, but what we forgot to realize is that Kaepernick was only good in the Harbaugh system.
So
He was only good with the pistol stuff.
So speaking of Chip Kelly, so Chip Kelly, you think is going to go back to college, and do you think Jim Harbaugh is going to come back from college to the NFL? Do y'all think
No,
that's going to happen?
he won't go back to them. I mean, hell no.
regardless of all this stuff talking about, let's not let any of this stuff distract y'all from the fact that the Cleveland Indians blew a 3-1 series lead in the World Series to the Cubs. Oh my God, I had to do it.
You're
my
an
God.
asshole.
Oh man, shout out to Cleveland for another L.
What did you say to Cleveland? Well,
Terrell Pryor?
what did you say?
Drug test that man. He said he loved this place. He want to come back to Cleveland.
Right.
I'm like,
He wants that money, man. That's what he
wants that money. That's why.
drug test that dude. I don't know nobody that ever says that shit. I love it here. I can't wait to come back and be 1-15 again. Nah,
Right.
man.
And no, I have to bring this up. My Chargers decided to let Cleveland get a win.
The Chargers got destroyed.
I'm so hurt that
It could be worse. You could be like JG and have the Rams lose to the Niners twice.
That's a good point. But after that, I was like, yo, someone's got to get fired. Someone's got to get let go. Because that's just ridiculous. It's a wrap. I just had to throw that out there. It was a motherfucking shame.
I would like to see
All right, everybody, that is the
Brandon
show.
Marshall come to the Ravens. My bad. So,
Hey, Brandon Marshall's staying with the Jets.
he ain't got nobody throwing the ball.
Yeah, he does. We're gonna have Tony Romo. He's gonna go to the Jets.
Yeah,
We're trading Sheldon Richardson, first round pick.
Romo to the Jets?
Yes.
Romo going to the Dolphins, bro.
Romo.
Right. Go ahead, just go ahead and send him to the Dolphins, fam. You know he's gonna go.
Nah,
down
he
there.
going to the
I'm taking-
Broncos, fam.
I'm taking
You think?
Romo.
Yep.
Nah, the Broncos are gonna have Kaepernick.
Oh my God.
I think they should have went for him before the beginning of the
At least you
season.
can count on Kaepernick to be healthy. So I mean, it might be the stronger move. Whatever. All right.
No, man, you can't even count on 10 yards.
Yeah, we can end it.
Anyways, let's end it right there. Thank you, everybody, for the live stream, for watching. Ace, any final thoughts?
Nah, I already said my piece and statement about
Your
Chargers.
piece, Chargers? Yeah, whatever.
Fuck them,
Lakers.
but let's go Lakers. Let's go.
Lakers. Look at the Lakers.
Let's go. Yo, now I'm back in Vegas. I'm going to the Laker game. Let's go.
If this Laker nigga would shut up, I just want to say that
Positivity, fuck.
I mean, I'm positive you need to shut up. Fuck it. I couldn't think of nothing else to say. I couldn't think of nothing else to say. You're right. You got me. I just want to say that the Chicago Bulls, if you ain't gonna play Rondo, get rid of him. Please trade Nikola Mirovic. Get rid of him too. Please get rid of Fred Hoiberg. Get rid of Gar Forman and John Paxson. The shit ain't
And
working.
Carter Williams.
Michael Carter Williams, I don't have a problem with. I ain't
I'll
gonna
pick him up because I dropped him.
Yeah, I ain't picking him up though. I ain't stupid. But
I think he's a good player though.
yeah, he plays better. The team plays better when he's out there, other than Rondo. Just my personal opinion. But I don't like what the Bulls are doing. I hate everything the Bulls are doing. As a matter of fact, the best thing they've done was pick up Dwayne Wade, but he ain't really doing shit either. But that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, that's all I got, man.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone in the stream.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year to everybody.
We didn't talk about the NBA much, but we'll talk about the NBA a lot more in the weeks to come when we do the next show. All right? Because there really wasn't much to talk about. The All-Stars game is going to come soon, next month or so. But yeah, Rondo, I think, was the biggest story. So there you go, Flock. Thank you for your final comments. That was the topic of the NBA was Rondo. Maybe Frazier being a scrub. That's about it.
Yeah, I know, man.
All right. Well, that is the Triple Thread Podcast. Thank you, everybody.
Out of here, y'all. Deuces.